And that's the power of the Brahmos missile.
This missile to go through to the bedroom of General Musharraf. Pakistan is a free delivery item.
Not one, but several missiles have been delivered.
So we fired the missile.
You fired in a cyclone.
In 4 minutes, the whole target was exploded.
Right. So it just drops down vertically onto the target.
We take off vertically.
Ramjet engine.
Supersonic ramjet engine in the whole world.
The India-Russia story.
Mr. Putin was all along supporting the Brahmos program.
Rudra Chakra, what exactly is that?
Goes from the hand of the Vishnu.
Thought-controlled weapon.
And the Karachi is nowhere. Every 3 seconds it goes.
Hello and welcome to the Sandeep Unnithan show, your weekly dose of defense and geopolitics. It's been a month since Operation Sindoor, since India launched attacks on Pakistan's terrorist infrastructure and, of course, military targets. The star of the show was the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile. Now, I'm honored and privileged to have with us here on our podcast Dr. Apatkat Sivathanu Pillai, the father of the Brahmos supersonic cruise missile. Dr. Pillai, welcome to my show.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sandeep.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So I've known you for so many years and we've seen the test firings of the Brahmos, Dr. Pillai, but this is the first time we actually saw the Brahmos in action, in combat. And it didn't seem like it was any different from all of those test firings, all of those targets, the dummy targets that were destroyed. Now we actually saw this in action. We saw the military infrastructure that was devastated. Airfields were destroyed. Terror training camps were destroyed. You brought the Brahmos missile to India more than almost 3 decades ago. Did you ever have any doubt in your mind that when the missile was used in combat, it would perform exactly the way you had intended it to?
See, when Admiral Arun Prakash was the vice chief, he said that I wanted to see the firing of the Brahmos. If at all, it has to go for Navy. So the day he came to Chandipur to see the test, it was a cyclone. All my people, including the Russians, said, we cannot fire the missile, it is like this. But a user being there, even though it is a very risky, I said, we are firing. So we fired the missile, and the wind was so much, the flame was deflecting 90 degrees.
Right.
Oil take off, and the missile had the full control to go ahead.
You fired in a cyclone?
Yes. So it's the whole thing established. Even in difficult condition, the missile can be used.
Right.
When he became the chief of the Navy, he demanded that you should do a combat firing.
Right.
Normally, in a development, combat firing is not done. All our friends said it's a dangerous thing to do a combat firing against a decommissioned ship.
Yeah. I
said, no, we are going to do. So we did the test of Goa, and myself and Dr. Admiral Arun Prakash, both of us were there in the Virat, standing in Virat to see. So the missile was fired with the warhead.
Right.
So when we use combat, there's no instrumentation.
Yeah.
But a target was there. So
it's hit the ex-INS Sindhudurg.
Yes. In 4 minutes, the whole target was exploded into 2 pieces. And by the time we could reach by helicopter, that nothing was there in that sea. Everything went inside. So that proved that the missile is very, very powerful.
Right.
And then Arun Prakash declared, we don't want user trials for this missile. We are going to order it immediately. He went to Delhi and gave a letter, 370 missiles I am ordering with you.
Right.
Like that.
It's very interesting you mentioned Admiral Arun Prakash, Dr. Pillai, is that he was, his history in the 1971 war, he was flying with the Indian Air Force and he was actually with the hunters that attacked Sargodha. And he got a Veer Chakra for that.
Yes.
He was actually doing the air-to-ground missions there. And that, almost more than 50 years later, was done with the Brahmos missiles.
Yes. And see, the type of support I got from Navy was tremendous.
Right.
So then, after inducting into the Navy, I thought we should go to army.
Right.
Then we needed a design change for the seeker. We had to put the GPS, all those things we have done. And we did the test at Pokhran in the presence of General J.J. Singh.
Who was then Army Chief?
Army Chief. He saw 2 tests and then he declared that this missile, I will use it to go through the window to the bedroom of General Musharraf. He said that, and he very, very well said that, and he repeated that.
Right.
This missile I will send it through the window to General Musharraf's bedroom. He said that. So that was his confidence. See, getting user confidence is very, very important. So that paved the way for the army version.
Right.
We had definitely many challenges in that. We wanted to make it very accurate.
Yeah.
We did number of tests. We did some tests were not that successful, but we did that and then proved to the army that this missile will do. Seeing that Air Force, the Air Chief Marshal Major, he was the
Fali Major.
yes, he was the chief at the time.
Right.
He suggested that why don't you give that land version to us? Right. Of course, you develop the air version, but immediately you give the land version. So there was a dispute between Army and Air Force who should own the land version. Army said, we are already inducting, why you are coming in the way? So then Mr. Antony, who was the defense minister in the council, that acquisition council, he said that both will have. So that's how the Air Force also had the land version.
Right.
The same as what Army had. But our interest was to put it in the air version.
Right.
So when it is air version, definitely, you have got range is high.
Yeah.
You can
fly as long as the
you
plane.
can fly over South China Sea, you can fly.
Right.
Because reusable, refillable aircraft, so many advantages are there. So we were very much interested to do that. Because of the heavy weight, we had to reduce the weight. Because reducing weight is not a big problem because the booster has to operate at the height. So booster can be reduced, the size can be reduced. Size means the quantity of the propellant can be reduced. All modifications we did, and Russia came forward to do the help and to do repeated tests of the booster as well as the sustainer, ramjet engine.
Yeah.
So with that, we were very confident that missile can be put that. But unfortunately, Russia took a stand that they will do the modification because Sukhoi is their design. So I did not agree to that. I said, this is an opportunity for us to integrate the weapon to the platform. So then I consulted Air Force. Air Force was totally with me. Then told the Secretary of Defense. Everybody said, yes, we can do it. The contract also allows, when they have given the Sukhoi, that that platform can hold the weapons of Indian weapons.
Right.
So then the design has to be there. All design documents were not there with HAL, but HAL was very keen to do the work. Then we did the modification. We did a lot of trials on that. Finally, we got it integrated, and then transfer alignment, then INS, all host of issues came. The dropping, and then
this is around 2012. This is
2012. I wanted to fly, but it didn't happen. But it took some time. But the development was almost over at that time, 2012. This gave the confidence that the air launched, and that with accuracy what we got in the tests, it will definitely destroy the target.
Right.
Then the one suggestion came, why not you fly it at with the supersonic dive? Why don't you do it?
The steep dive capability.
Yes. So we did one, the Mark 3, Block 3 we call it.
Yeah.
We did the steep dive test also we did. That means the first missile to do a steep dive straight down with a supersonic.
So explain what a steep dive means. And what is the normal flight path of the Brahmos?
So normally if the range is more, we take off vertically.
Like this.
It takes off vertically. Then there's a nose cap.
The cap, which is...
The cap has got the reactors, thrusters. They turn the missile 90 degrees because we can't go up. We have to, avoid all the signatures.
Right.
So then it goes almost horizontal, lifts up,
Yeah.
and then it flies at a higher altitude, which is allowed. That
Right.
means some 13-kilometer altitude, we fly for long distance. Before the target comes, much before, it dives again.
Right. It
Dives
takes a
again.
lower profile.
A lower profile.
Right.
During the lower profile, it takes the signature of the target
Right.
and then switches off the RF seeker.
Right.
So that no signature will be available to
Right.
the enemy.
So he opens
It's
the
all
gate
in
and
the
then he
inertial
shuts.
guidance. And it has seen that target.
Yeah.
So then it flies at very low altitude and finish off that
Right.
target.
Right.
This is the normal, this one. In the case of air version or the steep dive, what we have to do is we want to have a vertical hit.
Right.
We have to do that. So there, vertical hit also, you can fly a long distance and do that hitting, or you can do it in a straight up and then do it. That's a steep dive.
Right. So it just drops down vertically
Stopped
onto the target.
So behind the hill, some submergents are there. Just behind the hill,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Right.
That type of test also. we
Right.
have
So
done.
it can basically fly behind a hill
Yes,
and
yes.
hit targets.
Just over
And
the
this is
hill.
only in the Indian Brahmos.
Yes, yes.
No other
Yes,
country
yes.
has
This all
scheme.
done by you. Nobody has got.
Right.
So this we did. This type of tests also we did. So all have been proved and all have been delivered to the users.
Right.
And Air Force, even before the testing from the aircraft, they gave the order.
Right.
We believe you. Order. Like that.
Now, coming back to the India-Russia story, there is one personality who's been constant on the Russian side for many years. That's President Vladimir Putin. What is the kind of involvement he has had in this project, in this Indo-Russian project?
This question is a very important question. Mr. Putin was all along supporting the Brahmos program. Even today he is supporting program. He is very much proud of Brahmos.
Right.
And he hails that India, Russia, all joint programs should be the model of Brahmos. That he was very much convinced. So we made him to understand what is Brahmos when he visited our headquarters to inaugurate the center, and he spent a lot of time with us. And afterwards also there were many occasions where I met him, and every time he spoke very high about the India-Russia cooperation and about Brahmos. One incident I cannot forget. When he issued a decree to support the Rus-Brown export for all the export activities, any activity being done by any other country other than Russia, our partners got jittery because so far Rus-Brown export was not there in the picture. Suddenly they have been brought in. Now their activities will be very difficult. So they told me that this is the situation, we are helpless. So I went to Kremlin and talked to Putin, that saying that you must make Brahmos, it's your project. You must see that the Brahmos is not affected. You exemption. So even Dr. Kalam did not believe that it will come.
Dr. Kalam was with you for
Yes.
the meeting.
So then he issued, within a week, we got a degree issued saying that Brahmos is exempted from Rus-Brown export.
Right.
So see, like that, every point he used to come in to help us. Same thing happened when the air version came. Air version, I took a stand that air version will be done by India, supported by the Air Force and our Defense Ministry and HAL. We all, as partners, we decided that we will do ourselves. There were many difficulties, inputs were not there, so many things we had to do, but we did everything. That time, the Russians who were upset on me, they went to their president Medvedev and told him that we have given a proposal for $250 million and it will be done by us, the modification. If we do it, we have got a lot of export opportunity because the Sukhoi 30 is being used by many other countries. So you must get it done. So the president also said, yes, we will talk. So he talked to Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. Manmohan Singh was not knowing the background. So he said, yes, we will see that it is done. He accepted with him. When he came back from Russia, then I was given the instruction that I should sign that contract with the Russians. So I said, I will not do it. So we had a meeting. The Shivashankar Menon, security advisor, then Brown, Air Chief Marshal, then Mr. Sharma, Defense Secretary, myself, four of us. I gave a presentation for half an hour how I want this to be done and how confident I am. They all agreed. We will only do it. So then the paper was prepared to the
This is
approval
the
of...
air-launched version.
Yes, to the approval of Prime Minister. He also said, if you are confident, do it, he said. So that's how the whole thing came. And still, they were not agreeing. They were started fighting.
Russians. Right.
Coming each time, 20 people come, Sukhoi Design Bureau come, and then they tried to brainwash Air Force, Defense Ministry, all those things. But there a change took place. From Madhuvado, Putin became again. Then this was not working with him. He said, if they want to do it, let them do it, he said.
Right.
The whole thing was finished. This is one occasion. One more thing I will tell you about Putin. The Chinese president at that time, many years before, went to President Putin and told him, what you gave to India for Brahmos joint venture, you must also give that same supersonic technology to us.
Right.
So he said, no, not possible. It is a government agreement. It will not be possible. Then when Mr. Vajpayee went there to Russia, he told Mr. Vajpayee that there was a request from the Chinese president. I have told him no. So Mr. Vajpayee told George Fernandez, who was our defense minister. George Fernandez told me, this is the case happened. So you are protected by President Putin, he said.
Right. So that's a fascinating story.
So see,
he's been a supporter of the
how the
program.
top leaders, how
Yes.
they do it. Narasimha Rao, Mr. Vajpayee, you see that George Fernandez, Mr. Antony, Pranab Mukherjee, Jaswant Singh, all these people, when I interacted,
Right.
I found everybody was so cooperative
Supportive
to
of
do
the missile program.
And they stood with me all the time.
Right,
They stood with
right.
me.
So, Dr. Pillai, there's that other instance I have to ask you about this. What did that Pakistani general ask you at that arms exhibition in Abu Dhabi? I want to hear this from
Yes. So in Abu Dhabi, you see, one thing is one view we took. Once the missile is already known outside to the world,
Yeah.
India fired a supersonic cruise missile. If you have no hesitation to tell others. So we started showing the pictures of our flight and all those things to Mahathir
Right.
in Malaysia.
In Malaysia.
It became a big hit for us. Then we went to Abu Dhabi to capture the Middle
Which
East
year was
market.
this? Which year?
I don't exactly remember the year, but it was long ago.
10 years back, 15 years back?
Yeah,
Right.
it's about that. So then during that time, we showed a model, not like this, it's a bigger model, we showed it. And many people came. The president of UAE came, so I discussed with him. He showed a lot of interest, he showed. Then after he went, there's a team of Pakistan with the general leading the team. He was a major general, and with him, the other Air Force and Navy people were there. So 4 of them came. And they wanted to know what is this Brahmos about, what is the type of missile. So my people said that only I can answer to him because of Pakistan. They said, no, he will come. So I was called, then I went there. So he asked, I said, yes, this is a supersonic cruise missile and it has got a capability to go Mach 3 and very accurate. We have done the test. You see the film, I showed the film. So he saw everything. He was very much fascinated. He said, it's a good missile. Do you want to sell to Middle East? Yes, that's why we have come. I say, if you are going to sell to Middle East, will you sell it to Pakistan? I said, sir, for Pakistan, it's a free delivery item.
and
immediately his face changed because we did not expect this answer. He became grim and walked out of that place.
Okay. So, well, Dr. Pillai, your prophecy has come true after all these years. Not one, but several missiles have been delivered free of charge. And it has hit terrorist camps, it has hit, military infrastructure, and it has hit their air bases. So I think they would really want a missile like this in their inventory. And this is...
No, it isn't. You see, you would have talked to me jokingly.
Yes.
Because he knew that we will not sell to Pakistan.
Right.
But because of the export promotion happening,
Yes.
he just asked a question, will you sell it to Pakistan? Then immediately I had to respond to him.
But, talking about the Middle East, what was it about the 1991 Gulf War that actually, awakened us to the power and the potential of cruise missiles? You had returned from Harvard at that time,
Yes,
in 91,
yes.
when the Americans were
Dr.
taking apart.
Dr. Kalam, after the Agni test, he told me that we have become the 6th country for doing IRBM. When will you become first country? So I want to give you a break, he said. So he sent me to Harvard to have a break. Fortunately for me, that was the time the Gulf War was taking place, and Saddam Hussein's, Scud missiles going, all those things. Then I started studying what has really happened. So Saddam Hussein has made elaborate the air defense system. He was expecting bombers to come so that he can kill the bombers, destroy the bombers. But what the Americans have done, they have used nearly 500 Tomahawk missiles fired from Persian Sea.
Right.
They flew so low and finished up all the radars and the air defense systems.
So it completely neutralized Saddam Hussein's...
Then he was helpless. Then they
base.
bombarded.
Right.
So that gave a message that in IGMDP, when we thought IGMDP,
right.
our main aim was to make a bigger missile for a long distance.
Right.
The focus was surface-to-surface missile.
And strategic missiles.
To camouflage surface-to-surface missile, we had to add some defense missile and
Right.
because the DRDL was working on those defensive missiles earlier.
Right.
And Prithvi, that engine was there. So all those things happened. But his main focus, Dr. Kalam's focus, was to develop Agni.
Right.
A bigger launch vehicle.
Strategic missile.
From the SLV-3 time, he was saying that I have to develop a missile for a long range. He was telling. So that's how the whole IGMDP was configured. So now I understood that we have missed this type of requirement, cruise missile.
Right.
So I talked to him from Harvard. So when I told him that this is the thing happening, he said, after you come, we will discuss. So after I returned, it was a 3-month course, it was a management course. When I came back, we sat together and then we said we have to have a cruise missile. So he said that Russians have done cruise missiles. We are also thinking of a cruise missile for our ATV program.
Right.
So why don't you go and talk to them? So he dispatched me to Russia. I was anyway going there for the underwater missile design we were doing with them.
Sagarika.
Yes, Sagarika.
Right.
So I was in the team. But still, now he has given this assignment to me. So I went and talked to Dr. Effermo, the Director General of the NPOM. Then initially he was hesitant. Later he said, come, I will show you. Then he showed the engine. He said, this is the only...
ramjet engine.
This is the only supersonic ramjet engine in the whole world. German people are asking me the technology we cannot give. The Russian government will not agree. But for India, they will agree. So, you see, then discuss. Then when I came back, Dr. Kalam said, he formed a 3-member team.
Right.
Myself, then Venugopalan, he is the propulsion expert. Later he became the project director. Then Ramanathan, financial advisor. 3 of us went and discussed the detail and other thing. Finally, we came to the conclusion that design is very, very complex design. And the way they have designed it the booster has to be inside.
Right.
That means you cannot take only the technology of the ramjet engine.
Right.
You have to think of booster also. When you have all the propulsion systems, all the control, everything is inside.
Right.
So finally we decided we will go for a joint venture so that we will have the full missile, for which the model tests they have already done. So all the internal test results they showed, the configuration, how they approved, they showed. Then we said we have to do the design for us. We will not take it as it is. It is a joint venture. Let us do the design. 38 people were positioned in Moscow. So the whole team with Mr. Venugopalan leading the team, we started working on the design. This we have done even before the 1998, the intergovernment agreement. Before that itself.
This is from 95 to 98.
Yes,
that
95
period.
I was appointed as the CEO.
3 decades.
Yes, by Narasimha Rao. Prime Minister was Defense Minister also, so he appointed me. From that day onwards, we were thinking how to do it. We hired a place in Vasant Vigar quietly. 2 or 3 of us were doing. At night only we were working. All those things we were doing.
Right.
But now an opportunity came when Mr. George Fernandez was the Defense Minister. He gave fund for going to Russia and doing the design. So we did that. So design work was done before the approval agreement is signed. So that's how the whole
That's how the story of the Brahmos.
The developed.
Right, of course. Fascinating. So now 25 years later, more than 25 years actually, the Brahmos is now in service. It's got all variants with the Air Force, with the Army, with the air-launched version with the Air Force. Of course, the Navy has got one version, but there's still a 4th version that remains to be inducted, which you have tested incidentally.
Yes.
The submarine-launched version.
Yes.
How?
See, thinking that Brahmos should go to the submarine launched, that means submarine, should go to the submarine.
Yes.
So we did a test. What we have done, we have taken the pontoon, which was used for Sagariya testing, and the launcher we modified and put it in deep water inside, and we fired the missile. See, the missile was configured for submarine version only.
Right.
What we are flying now, testing for land, as well as...
this one?
Today's missile is a submarine missile only.
Right.
Where there's an underwater booster.
Okay.
This has got an underwater booster, which fires the canister, the normal land launched.
Yes.
It lifts up. The booster fires above.
Right.
Okay. In the case of water, the underwater booster fires and lifts it up to the surface, then the booster fires.
Right.
So the configuration is same for all versions, except the air version.
Right.
It's
Which you've modified by chopping
modified
the booster.
The booster and many modifications we have done. And we have reduced the weight also.
Yes.
But other than the air version, all versions are same. No change is required. You can borrow from the army and use it in naval ship.
So they're all interchangeable. All
are interchangeable.
All missiles are interchangeable. You're very confident that the Navy will get the submarine-launched version of the Brahmos?
Yes, surely. We were negotiating with them.
Right.
In the early stage. Then they said that when we are going for the Project 75I, we'll put it. Project 75I discussion, more than 10 years it was going on. Even today it is not done.
Yes.
So I have discussed with the Germans, discussed with the Russians, discussed with the, with the Spanish. All the people I have also discussed. Everybody said, yes, Brahmos can be accommodated. But it didn't come. It has taken a lot of time. People take a lot of time to decide. That's a problem for us.
Right.
In India, the problem is the bureaucracy. Decision making, that power is not there.
Right. Absolutely. So, Dr. Pillai, I also want to ask you, beyond just the Brahmos 2 and the Brahmos NG that you've been developing, and of course, which is well on its way, we are being informed, there is what you've spoken about, the Sudarshan Chakra. What exactly is that? Is that an evolution of the Brahmos, or is it a completely new system?
See, Dr. Kalam, he's a visionary.
Yes.
So many times he told that like we send a missile, how it would become cost effective for us. Why don't you get back? Like a launch vehicle, reusable launch vehicle. Why don't you do the missile? So he propagated the concept of reusable missile.
Right.
So in a hypersonic missile, it can fly and come back. So we did a hyperplane on configuration we did, and then we went to the world and told that we are more efficient. The payload we are able to give 15%. That was a big hit we did internationally. by mass addition. There's a new theory we brought in. One Air Commodore Gopal Swami is the author of that. So now, when we want to do that hypersonic, then I thought the hypersonic missile should fly fast in Mach 8, go to the user, drop the payload, that is the warhead, and return back.
Right.
So, then we got the idea, Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra goes from the hand of the Vishnu, and it goes, cuts the head of the enemy and comes back to him. So that is why Sudarshan Chakra. So we thought that what we are doing is nothing but Sudarshan Chakra. But one difference is there. He operated from mind,
Right.
controlled from the mind. So we thought in our next version, we should operate from mind. Why that idea came was, in future, the microwave is becoming very stronger. With the microwave coming, all electronic gadgets will not work. You have got a good checkout system, you are in the war front, you will not take off.
Right.
Such a powerful microwave is going to come. So in that case, how do you operate the missile? So we want to tie up with the mind.
Thought-controlled weapons.
Yes.
Exactly
That's the next version we have to do.
The Firefox, that movie.
So that is why it's called Sudarshan Chakra.
Right. Absolutely fascinating. And when do you think that this weapon would be in?
It will come in another 5 to 10 years. It will come.
5 to 10. This would be from the Brahmos family of missiles, or
it can be even anything can be there. We are operating the system.
Right.
Can be from the mind. Any system can be operated. But the microwave technology has come. We are also developing high-power microwave in India. But microwave, wherever it is there, I have seen a DARPA doing a test,
Yes.
putting it in a UAV and flying the UAV with a high-power microwave. All the checkout units are working complete power lost.
Right.
That they showed.
That's the power of microwave.
Yes, that's why this microwave is going to be a big nuisance for the future.
Absolutely. But and you will have the Brahmos as the guardian, and you've helped set the Brahmos up to be the guardian of India's defense forces, the only weapon system which is there in all three services, Army, Navy and Air Force, and now and well into the future.
So there is further possibilities are there. Further possibilities are anti-AWACS
Right.
configuration, anti-AWACS. It can be fired from our aircraft against AWACS system. It is possible. So like that version also can come.
Right.
And, the salvo firing is a very interesting one. When Navy is having 16 missiles in our ship and the Karachi is nowhere, if they start doing the firing, they were waiting, 3 ships were waiting. But Navy has been told not to do that. But suppose that war got escalated, we would have lost Karachi.
Right.
They were ready. So this is a very powerful system, and each one will target different. So 16 targets in 3-4 minutes.
16 targets in 3-4 minutes. That's like that's almost science fiction.
Yeah, every 3 seconds it goes. It goes. Finish.
And that's the power of the Brahmos missile. Brahmos, the guardians of India's armed forces, past, present, and deep into the future. Thank you very much for that superb overview, that insight into how this missile came into India's arsenal. Thank you very much for your time and thoughts, Dr. Pillai.
Thank you.